There's a story hidden behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood that few dare to question. An unsettling tale of affection, power, and blurred boundaries between two of the biggest names in music history. Diana Ross, the legendary diva, and Michael Jackson, the king of pop, shared a bond so deep that it often felt like more than just friendship. But what if their connection wasn't as innocent as it seemed? What if behind the smiles and the spotlight, there were secrets that shaped Michael's troubled adult life? This isn't just a love story or a tale of mentorship. It's a question of whether a childhood idol became something darker. As Michael grew older, his admiration for Diana never wavered. In fact, it intensified. He spoke about her in numerous interviews, often calling her his first love. He once said that he used to fantasize about marrying her and would even call her mama and my girlfriend in the same breath. This duality in how he viewed her, both as a motherly figure and a romantic interest, has raised eyebrows for decades. Some argue that this kind of dynamic is indicative of grooming, where a significantly older individual builds a close, often confusing emotional bond with a younger person, blurring the lines between parental affection and romantic interest. There have been stories, though unconfirmed, that Diana Ross was Michael's first sexual partner. Some insiders and biographers claim that the two had a romantic relationship when Michael was in his late teens or early 20s. If true, this would mean that their relationship went beyond just close friendship or mentorship. And this is where the controversy deepens. If the roles were reversed, if Michael had been the older, more experienced figure and Diana the younger, impressionable teenager, society would likely be far more critical and suspicious. The idea that Diana could have groomed Michael is not a mainstream narrative, but it's one that has been quietly discussed in fan circles and among pop culture analysts for years. Michael's emotional attachment to Diana was evident throughout his life. Even in his will, he named Diana Ross as the guardian for his children, should his mother be unable to care for them. That speaks volumes about the depth of trust and love he had for her. Yet, Diana has always been somewhat tight-lipped about the true nature of their relationship. While she has acknowledged their closeness and deep bond, she has never confirmed nor denied the rumors of a romantic relationship. Her silence has only added more fuel to the speculation. Their interactions in public were also telling. There are clips and interviews where their chemistry is palpable. Michael would often become visibly nervous around Diana, blushing, giggling, and fidgeting like a schoolboy with a crush. Diana, on the other hand, would tease him, touch him affectionately, and sometimes make flirty comments. While this could all be chalked up to playful friendship, the context of their history makes it hard to ignore the possibility of something more intimate going on behind the scenes. Another layer to this complex relationship is the psychological impact it may have had on Michael. His views on women, love, and beauty were complicated, to say the least. He often idolized women in a way that seemed almost unattainable. He was known to be shy, reserved, and even awkward around women he was attracted to. Some believe that this stems from his early emotional entanglement with Diana. If she was indeed his first love, or even his first romantic or sexual experience, it could have set a precedent for the rest of his life. It's possible that he spent much of his adulthood chasing the same kind of love and validation he received from Diana, but in a world that was far more complicated and less forgiving. Michael's childhood was already riddled with trauma, especially due to the abuse from his father, Joe Jackson. Adding a potentially romantic relationship with a much older woman into the mix could have made things even more confusing for a young, sensitive boy trying to find his place in the world. This isn't to say that Diana had malicious intent. Perhaps she genuinely loved and cared for Michael. But the power dynamic was undeniably skewed, and in today's lens, many would question the appropriateness of such a bond. There's also the artistic influence Diana had on Michael. He mirrored many aspects of her stage presence, her elegance, and her persona. Some even argue that he modeled his ideal version of femininity after her. This further complicates the emotional and psychological layers of their connection. If Diana was not only a mentor and a maternal figure, but also a romantic ideal, then it's no wonder that Michael struggled with forming healthy, grounded relationships as an adult. Even in his music, there are hints of his feelings for Diana. The song Dirty Diana was rumored to be about her, although Michael denied it. Yet, the timing and choice of name make it hard to dismiss entirely. He also wrote songs that express longing, heartbreak, and unattainable love emotions that could easily be tied back to a complex, unfulfilled relationship with someone he adored but could never truly have. Fans have also noted how Diana Ross often received special treatment from Michael. She was one of the few people who could get him to appear publicly or attend events. Her influence over him was profound and long-lasting. When Michael passed away, Diana released a statement expressing her heartbreak, but once again she remained vague about the nature of their relationship. This has led many to believe that there's a lot more to the story than what has been publicly acknowledged. In the end, the truth about Michael Jackson and Diana Ross's relationship may never be fully known. What we do know is that their bond was deep, complicated, and emotionally charged. Whether it was a case of grooming, a misunderstood friendship, or a tragic love story, it undeniably shaped much of Michael's life and psyche. As fans and observers, we can only piece together the clues, the interviews, the body language, and the songs to try and understand what really happened between these two iconic figures. The question remains, was Michael Jackson a victim of grooming, or was he simply a young man who fell in love with the one person who showed him unconditional affection in a world that often exploited his talent? It's a difficult question with no easy answer. But it's one worth asking, especially as we continue to reevaluate the relationships between power, fame, and vulnerability in the lives of celebrities. The more I think about their story, the harder it becomes to draw a clear line between love, guidance, obsession, and control. Michael Jackson always looked for comfort in the people he admired, and Diana Ross was at the very top of that list. Maybe she truly was his safe space, the one person who made him feel seen when the whole world treated him like a product instead of a person. But there's a part of me that can't ignore how young and vulnerable he was when their bond began. When someone with fame, power, and charm steps into a child's life so early and becomes everything to them, friend, idol, protector, what are the chances that child grows up knowing what normal love looks like? Maybe Michael didn't. Maybe that's why he spent the rest of his life chasing something he could never quite explain. I can't say for sure if Diana meant to hurt him or if their relationship was just misunderstood. But something about it never sat right, and the more I try to make sense of it, the more I wonder how different things could have been if he had grown up with boundaries instead of blurred lines, masters